Hello fellow mutants, welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to talk about how Bob Iger talks about Marvel and the theme parks, the future of the theme parks. So, let's give this a read, shall we? Um, Bob Iger is an ideological, but he's a smart one. He's riding the woke train straight into the mountain, but he knows he has to move at least one business sense to keep it running as long as he can. The Machiavellian, is that how you pronounce it? Way he used Bob Chapek as the fall guy for the disastrous results of his social political crusade was pretty brilliant, if evil. Thankfully, Chapek was paid handsomely for being humiliated like he was. Now that Iger is back in charge, he got some leeway to pursue his identity, politics, goals a little longer. I'm going to skip to the quote, or jump down, because this feels like this is more like an opinion a little bit. Okay, so first, Iger talked about the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe following the failure of Ant-Man and the Wasp's Quantumania, and his remarks are those of a single-minded activist who sees whatever confirms his bias. Sequels typically work well for us. Do you need a third or fourth, for instance? Or is it time to turn to other characters? There's nothing in any way inherently off in terms of the Marvel brand. I think we just have to look at what characters and stories we're mining, and you look at the trajectory of Marvel over the next 5 years, you'll see a lot of newness. We're going to turn back to the Avengers franchise, but with a whole different set of adventures. I mean, what's going to be the adventures for the next set? The Eternals, Shang-Chi's, which I'm kind of reading off this too. Spider-Man, Scarlet Witch, Loki, Doctor Strange, She-Hulk, Miss Marvel, and the new Black Panther. Like, Spider-Man and Doctor Strange, I think people will come into for sure. Loki, I think, like, I don't mind the character of Loki, but at this point, he has died way too many times. I came back way too many times, so that makes sense. Like, at this point, if he dies again, I fully expect him to, like, come back in some way, because, like, I think I'm in the in the main group where I thought that when we saw Loki die in Infinity War, that was it for Loki. And I feel like that was an okay send-off for Loki. And then they brought him back for, like, who knows how many times. So all I'm going to say with Loki is, if you're going to bring him back, keep him alive. If not, then if you're going to kill him off the next time, let him stay dead. Because I'm kind of getting annoyed with Loki coming back just to get killed off again. And Scarlet Witch, oh, they're talking about Phase 4. But still, Scarlet Witch they can't really do, because she died. Unless if they bring back a Scarlet Witch from a different time or universe, because they're in the multiverse era. Vision they could easily bring back, because they got White Vision, and isn't White Vision in the comics Vision but hacked? And can he be reprogrammed to be our version? So there's a chance for Vision to come back, which I don't see many fans having an issue with that, but like the Eternals and Shang-Chi were like, and She-Hulk. I'm never gonna get in She-Hulk because that show's horrible. But my point is, for mentioning that, for focusing on the whole Marvel thing, is that sure, we get to have Spider-Man and Doctor Strange, which are fairly loved characters. But we need some other MCU legacy characters as well. I want to be surprised if they bring the Human Torch into the mix. I mean, the Chris Evans version. Because for the Marvel movies, I feel like Chris Evans is star power. I hope they keep Robert Downey Jr.'s character, Tony Stark, dead. Because, I don't want him coming back to like lessen his sacrifice in Endgame, if that makes sense. Same with Black Widow and for Infinity War. So like Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Hulk, the Hulk. I don't know if they can really like bring back Clint because Jeremy Renner's accident, and from what I remember hearing, he kind of wants out of the MCU now. So unless if the next Avengers movie gives him a death scene, I can't really see him coming back. Nick Fury, I think, should come back. But you get my point that they're like, sure, I think like the MCU can potentially like go forward with the new Avengers, like with the new like members of the Avengers, but they also need the old Avengers. Some members of the old Avengers to get reeled in, so that way like it can be someone to send off so fans can have a better time easing into the new Avengers, if that makes sense. So that's my whole point, is bringing in some of the old Avengers like the Hulk, Spider-Man, and Nick Fury, and Doctor Strange, right? With these new characters, because I can't see these new characters being able to pull in the audience like the OG Avengers or the older members of the Avengers, if that makes sense. So now they also are now going to talk about the parks. But the money has. I kind of skipped some of the article. If you guys want to read the full article, I will, as usual, put the link to the article in the description below. So if you guys want to read it, you guys can. So this is kind of leading into the quote. But the money has come from somewhere in the meantime. And with that in mind, Iger sounds more realistic about the theme parks, including the Star Wars Galaxy Hotel. And then this is where the quote comes in. I always believed that Disney was a brand that needs to be accessible. And I think that in our sale to grow profits, we may have been a bit too aggressive about some of our pricing. And I think there is a way to continue to grow our business, but be smarter about how we price, so that we maintain the brand value of accessibility. And I can stuff like the Star Wars Hotel is like way too pricey. I probably wouldn't go on Star Wars the Star Cruiser unless someone like pays for my ticket, because I don't have that type of money to like just spend. So unless someone pays for my rate, or Disney the parks wants to sponsor this channel and is willing to pay my way to the hotel, I probably would not um go to the hotel in my lifetime. And that's not me exactly bashing them, it's me being realistic here. So but I'm happy that he Iger at least acknowledges that they may have been aggressive out there how they price some things. And I mean, Disney parks is part of my childhood. It's of course I want success. That Disney parks should have success. Disney is part of my childhood. I want Disney to have success. Um, I mean, sure, like when you go to theme parks, you're going to like of course things are going to be like a bit more expensive than you like buy something at like at the mall or like a Hot Topic. That should be expected, but I feel like even Universal, like even though their prices can be expensive, sure, their prices are more reasonable than some prices Disney has made us pay within the last few years, if that makes sense. Even Six Flags, even though the last time I've been to Six Flags was um what was supposed to be Horror Night. I didn't get to experience the whole Horror Night aspect because someone had to like do something before we could experience that, so I'm still kind of butthurt. But um my point being is that I feel like yeah, Disney has overcharged a lot of people for the last few years. And I'm hoping with Iger acknowledging that, and I quote, we may have been a little too aggressive about some of our pricing will help um them moving forward pricing their items more reasonably. And I get it. Like I said earlier, I get it. Theme park prices are going to be more expensive than like mall prices. I get that, but there's expensive and there's like too expensive. And like the Star Cruiser is like too expensive for me. I don't have that type of money. Um, but oh like I said, I'll let the I'll put the article in the description below. So if you guys actually want to read the full article and not hear just the quotations, but read it fully, then I will do it. I will. You guys are more than welcome to. I will put a link for there. Um, they do say for anyone who was wondering how much it would be for like for the Star Wars hotel was according to this article is like between 5,000 to 20,000 dollars for 2 nights. How many people do you know has that amount of money? Like that's the only thing that I would say negative. Is that yeah, like maybe 5,000 at most, but 20,000, like I can't see them making any profit with 20,000. Like maybe like 5,000, sure, but the tickets were around $35 in 1994 apparently. which is $69 adjusted for inflation. But today, the prices are set between $109 and $189. And those also depend, like they said, depend on the park, and not even getting into the concessions, the prices of which probably make movie theaters look like dollar stores and souvenirs. But yeah, so like, I feel like most, like going into the parks should be like 100 and the $109 at most. Um, Especially if you're gonna like bring in, like, if you're going on a hot date with someone, or bringing in your family. Yeah, $109 should be like the most for a single person. So 109 times 5 is like near like $1,000, right? But that's still, I want to say, on the cheaper end than having to pay like $189. Plus, they got the whole Genie Pass thing, which that seems confusing in itself. So my point being, which is why I kind of also brought up the whole Star Wars hotel and the ticket prices, because, like I said, some of these prices are like too expensive. Sure, the whole like tickets to get into the parks is more doable than paying for those Star Wars hotel, but some of these prices are like unnecessarily expensive. Unnecessarily, like this, like I said, expensive, too expensive. And I feel like too expensive can land in that area of unnecessarily expensive. So, again, the fact that Bob Iger is saying we may have been a little too aggressive about some of our pricing is accurate. Bring some of the prices down a little bit, and may make more of a profit. Because people may want to come back if the prices drop. So that's just my hint to you, Disney. And I'm not even a businessman, but as a person who, like a person who likes to go to the parks, who mainly hasn't gone to the parks in like since 2017, I would, like, if I was staying at like in Florida, like visiting relatives, because I got a few relatives in Florida. If I want to go to Disney, you guys would have more of a chance of me spending my money going to the parks multiple times in my visit if you guys decrease the prices a bit. Just like at least for the entry of the parks. Just saying. Just saying. Also, it doesn't help that I'm practically a broke college student at the moment. But still, you get my point. Anyways, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Be kind to one another. And we'll talk to you guys later. Later, taters.